In our Gospel, and indeed throughout the Easter season, we unpack the mystery of the resurrection, that Jesus rose from the dead for our salvation. And very specifically, Jesus is speaking to Nicodemus in our Gospel, that he says to him that he helps him to understand, even as a teacher of Israel, to come to know the meaning of the resurrection. And one of the images that he uses with Nicodemus is that just as Jesus is lifted up on the cross is going to be an echo in the past, an echo of when Moses lifted a serpent in the desert. And I think delving into that story is worth some time with us so that we can understand a bit better how the story to Nicodemus indeed helps us all to understand the resurrection. And the story of Moses and the serpent is as they're wandering from Egypt to the promised land, that they are people that are used to living beside the river, used to the annual floods of the Nile. And they are learning to be a desert people, to live in the wilderness, to live off the land in that new way. And so they have to learn the ways of the land. And one of the dangers they have there is serpents. And especially if they wander too far away from the camp, that the serpents in the wilderness can bite them. And if no one can find them, indeed they will die in their illness of that poisoning. And so, for a remedy, Jesus tells Moses to erect a serpent on a pole. And the way it's usually depicted is the pole with the serpent wrapped around the pole. And if you recognize that symbol, it's because it's what the medical profession still uses to this day to symbolize their healing, their art of bringing God's healing to the world. And indeed, that's what happened, that when the serpent was lifted up and they looked to the serpent, they would be healed. They would be close enough to the camp to get any aid that they needed, perhaps, to be able to be saved, and God, indeed, bringing his healing gift to them. And one of the things that's interesting about that specific example of the poison of the serpents, that when we have that poison, that indeed it can kill, as we just said. But as someone said once, that a poison is just a medicine in too great a quantity. And so in a smaller amount, indeed, it can have a healing property, that it can bring help to those who need it. And I think that gives a very interesting image of what the cross does for us. That the cross indeed uses that horrible way of dying as a sign of our salvation. That the cross leads to the resurrection. And so Jesus is saying, by referencing that story to Nicodemus, that indeed the cross is, though a poison and death, is indeed the remedy in itself, the way of our healing. And so the cross helps us to know the gift of the resurrection. And very specifically, Jesus tells us that he heals us and forgives us. Our sins and everything that holds us back from God holds us back from our salvation. And so Jesus came as that remedy, that perfect one for us, that whatever we need might bring us that gift of his forgiveness. And so as we live in this Easter season, we indeed ask our God to be with us, to help us to know the gift of his healing, the gift of his forgiveness, the gift of eternal life.